Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video, back here to talk about One UI 7 and all of the new features that Samsung has brought with the most latest update. I have this also broken down in chapters in the description box below for you guys. If you guys want to see specific sections such as like the lock screen settings or like the new lock screen features, I should say, the new home screen features, the new notification settings and features, which I may include in the home screen. We'll see in post. I also have that for you guys down in the description box below. What a very interesting update from Samsung. To me, it felt like more of a visual overhaul, but not like a ton of new stuff. And I think that's because they incorporated a lot of good lock into the stable release or the official software for One UI 7. And so I'm used to a lot of these features, which is probably why I don't think they're new. But if you haven't used good lock in that way, you may find some of these features brand new to you, which I also think is a good thing from Samsung because that means they take good lock serious. They also take good Guardian serious. There are other good lock like app that allows you some more customization for your Samsung Galaxy device. So without further ado, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. Also, all free. That way you never miss my videos. So you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. We're on the verge of 10,000 subscribers as a recording of this video, and I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys who comment regularly, who like the videos regularly, who has been along for the journey, if not for a while, or who has given me their trust from that perspective, and I've earned it in being a new recent subscriber and follower building out this community. So thank you guys. Let's continue to rock. Let's get into the video. And the first thing we are going to talk about is the lock screen. And as you see there, my lock screen is somewhat live or animated, and that is due to photo ambient wallpaper, something that some devices did not have even with One UI 6, but it is here with One UI 6 and One UI 7, and that's with Galaxy AI. So if we go ahead, press and hold on the lock screen if you want to make adjustments. All you have to do is do exactly what I just did there. Press and hold, then you have your lock screen editor that pops up, and you have the option to come up here to wallpaper. You have the option to change your clock style and clock font if you wanted to. You have widgets now that you can actually change for your lock screen, and you also have the ability to change your two icons there on the outside, and you have Lockstar that you can access, which is a good lock module if you wanted even further more customization in terms of moving things around on your actual lock screen display. If I hit play, these options down here are for the photo ambient wallpaper. And I love the fact that they've added these options. So if I wanted to stay within my photo ambient wallpaper, I could. And if I wanted to play it, it's going to show you what is going on here. It's going to animate different aspects of the weather or climate that it can animate on your actual lock screen when you have an appropriate wallpaper for it. And so I do, which is why I was able to simulate some of those features. I like that a lot. And then if I click gallery, it's going to take me to the gallery so I could choose a different wallpaper for photo ambient wallpaper. And then of course, info button is to give you more info about photo ambient wallpaper itself. And I'm glad that they added those options down there so you don't have to come up here to wallpaper and actually have to select wallpaper and then go through the whole rigmarole again. You can just select a different wallpaper to choose right there for photo ambient wallpaper. Now, if you click on clock settings, you actually have the ability to change your font and color and style. And style added some new fonts, which I'm using one of them right now, which is that more kind of faded one. Then they also have the one next to it, which also is very bouncy or animated. And I like either one of these for my wallpaper. I like this one a little bit more for my current wallpaper, and that's why I have it. And you can show weather information, and you can show date above the clock if you want to instead of below. So if I click it, you'll see the date move. I think that's ugly, so I'm gonna turn that back off. And you can show weather information right there within it, so that way you don't have to worry about showing weather as a widget. And I'm kind of being redundant with mine. So if I wanted to, I could actually turn that off and simplify my wallpaper from that, or my clock if I wanted to, and I could actually enlarge my clock a little bit more if I wanted to as well, which is also great to see that here as part of the official stable One UI release. Now, if I hit done, this is my wallpaper that I've slightly even adjusted for you guys live in the video, and you see my photo ambient wallpaper kicking in because it's sunny in the area in which I live. Now, there's another aspect of the wallpaper or a lock screen that Samsung has added, and it is called Now Bar. Something that we definitely like. I think it still has some room for growth for sure. But how do you actually access it? Well, what you have to do is have something playing. So for me, I'm going to swipe down. I'm going to swipe on over here, and then I'm going to click on my media outlet and act as though I'm playing the last song that I was playing. Now, if I hit pause and shout out to MGK, Lonely Road, take me home. Now you see, if I click out and click back in, you see it down at the bottom. Now bar has the ability to show you your most recent played media. And in this case, it's my Apple Music. All I gotta do is click on it, and now you get a dope enlarged version of what you were listening to. And if you click, you can click on it, it'll click back out. Click on it, it'll click back out. And then, of course, you have the option to control your media right then and there as well, or control it from here as well, which you can play and then pause as necessary. And this also shows up on your always on display, something that I'm not using right now. But if I was to turn that on, so if we come back in here, we go into settings, back out of my sleep, my modes and routines. And if we come down here to lock screen and AOD, and if I turn mine on, first, you know what, let me turn it on. You will see that it's also down there at the bottom, right there. So that's something that I also very much so like about it, is that it's incognito. Now I wish you could actually access it still, 'cause that would have been nice. But I also understand if your phone's in your pocket or in a bag, a purse, pocketbook, whatever you want to call it, the tendency to accidentally activate it can be a pain. So I can understand why you can't, but you can double tap and it will work. And I literally just tested that on screen and felt very confident, and it proved right. So shout out to Samsung for that. But yes, so you can double tap the now bar and it will still function in always on display without activating your display. So I was still in always on display, or AOD for short, and I didn't have to actually go to my lock screen or wake my device up. So that is something that I really, really like that they added here with One UI 7 and with the Now bar in particular. Now, what else can Now bar actually show, or what is the potential for Now bar in the future? Well, if we click on Now bar in settings here, you'll see Sports from Google is something that will probably start to slowly roll out for Now bar, and it's kind of similar to Apple's live activities. If you have an iPhone or if you experience an iPhone, Apple now has live activities where, depending on the sports and the teams that you follow, it will automatically populate a live activity up at the top or on your lock screen with the score of that game, whether it's soccer, basketball, baseball, football. It will show the score of the game in a live activity format. Well, Nowbar is supposed to be able to do something similar with your favorite teams. Now, I've been trying to get this to work. It has not been working for me quite yet, and I don't think it's completely live yet. But as you see here, it says follow the teams and leagues you're interested in and get the notifications during play. To see Sports from Google in the Now bar, you need to go to Sports from Google settings and follow teams or leagues. You also need to turn on personalized search and web and app activity. So if you click on the settings, I thought I had mine turned on. I'm following some teams here, right? There's recommended. I'm not really. I thought I already had my teams followed and whatnot. But you see, you can come in here, follow all the teams that you want to, and you can even search if you needed to. And then down here at the bottom, you see finish. You're supposed to be able to hit finish, and then now going forward, you should see your sports being populated. And one of the last things I'm gonna check is make sure. See, so I do have the Lakers in here that I'm following, and I have not got anything from them yet. So it's something that's probably gonna start rolling out here soon, but they are getting it ready. I did check my personalization search and my web activity. All that is turned on. So it's just something that might be server side, something that Samsung's still working on the background for this to actually work, but I have not got it to work all the way yet. We have the media player, of course, and maps. And I like maps because maps allows you to also see the maps not just on your lock screen, but also in your home screen. And it allows you to see your current mode if you like seeing the current mode that you're using, like your work mode, sleep mode, relax mode, exercise mode, all that. If you needed to see that, you can turn that on. I don't, so I turn it off so that way I could also preserve more space. Now, live notifications that's supposed to be able to also populate in the now bar is your Samsung Health, interpreter, clock, voice recorder, Samsung Notes, and emergency sharing. Now, I believe with clock, you can also get the timer to work. So if I actually back out of here real quick, let's back all the way out because that's also pretty much the end of the the lock screen settings. If I come out of here, I swipe up, I go into clock, and I come on over here to timer, and let's just say I want to set a timer for 35 minutes. I hit start. So now it started, right? Once I swipe up, you see it pop up here in the note in the home screen. If I click out, it's there at the bottom right there. And if I want, I can pause it. I can play it with double taps, and it does not activate the lock screen, which I'm glad that's a universal function of Nowbar with everything with all of its features. So I definitely like that. And if you notice as well, you also get with the timer a nice little timer down in the corner that you can also move around. So timer with the clock has also been updated to give you several different points of visual contact with timer, so that way you ensure yourself that you won't miss your timer when it comes to anything that you're actually trying to record or time to keep note of during your own personal activities. And so you click on it, and then I can delete it and move on about my business. Now, one of the things you probably saw up there was the fact that I had Nowbar up in my notification panel. Well, that's part of the home screen, essentially, and we're going to get in the notification panel in a second. But just in terms of Nowbar and in the home screen, you're also still able to function with it there as well. If I hit play here again and I swipe back up, you see it up here. All you got to do is click on it, and now it's operable for you to still play with it up there. So I like the fact that Nowbar still has the ability to be played straight from the notification panel. And you notice I didn't have to swipe down to access it. I just tapped on it, and then it's there. And you still have the ability to operate it. You have the option, if I wanted to scrub through the song if I wanted to as well. In this case, with the media that I'm playing, and then I could just tap right back out of it and continue on with my business. I can lock it. I still have access there on the lock screen. I'm good to go from there. And that is the lock screen settings and the now bar feature that everybody, including myself, has kind of more or less been very excited to see, which is like a major new addition to Samsung's software. Home screen is where I'm going to be used to a lot of these features, but I'm glad that they finally baked these into the official software for Samsung. And that's the home screen settings. So for me, I like to pinch in order to access the settings with no problem. And this is where it gets funky. The feng shui changes with the home screen settings. This whole top panel is brand new right here for the official software. And I would even argue some of this is actually new in general that wasn't available in GoodLock, such as being able to change your app size. Now, for me, I like my apps a little bit bigger, but if you didn't, you can always change them by selecting how big you want them. And you see right here, watch this area here, you'll see the apps change in size as I click on stuff. And if I click on the big one, you see it get big again or enlarge. You have that option now in home screen to change how your home screen will really look from that perspective. You also have app labels. Now this feature I'm used to because this was in GoodLock, but they actually stripped this from GoodLock and made it official as part of the Samsung One UI 7, and that's essentially to have your apps show the name of the app. I turn it off so that way it keeps my home screen more clean and fresh, in my opinion. And so I have mine toggled off. But if you wanted to see YouTube underneath the app icon for YouTube, you keep this turned on. For me, I know what my apps look like, so I turn it off. Very nice to have, very good feature to have there. And then you have your customary home screen settings that are didn't really change all that much. And that's pretty much for the home screen settings. But what else has changed when it comes to the home screen? A lot of the widgets have adjusted. The the calendar widget has many different widgets now. So this is the other part that's going to be tough. But if I pinch again to access my widgets, just to show you some of the widgets, we have brand new widgets, and the widgets are now way more customizable in terms of the size and which different widgets you want. Samsung has went out of their way to really give us different variants of widgets. So if we needed specific information, we could use that specifically without having to go all the way. So in this case, in clock, we have our alarm widgets, and you see the different shapes and sizes of them that you can also still change with each widget. Then you have your clock widgets or your analog clock, where you can have the analog clock within a small pill form or the full analog clock. Or let's say, you know what, let's go digital. And then you have many different digital clocks that you can choose for your widgets. Then you have your dual clock where you want to keep time of different places. So maybe you've traveled frequently, or you just like knowing your hometown. If you don't live in your hometown, you want to know the time of that place. You can do that there, right? That's just to show you guys the clock widgets and what's available. You also have weather that has a ton of new weather widgets that you have to use. And this is my favorite one here to use when my phone is opened up, which I'll show you here shortly. But then you have widgets that include both the time and the clock, which I really, really appreciate. And I like that this one actually takes advantage of the space way better than it had before. And I'm very tempted to bring this back to my home screen. We will see if I do so. But I'm very tempted to bring that one back to my home screen. Stay tuned, because I will have a setup video anyway later on this week. And these are some of the widgets that you have available, especially Samsung specific widgets. And as you see here, this is how I kind of have mine currently set up. And I like how I have it set up. And again, I will do more. I mean, it's always kind of like a tutorial when I do my setup videos. But this is what I have set up here. And new with the home screen is a new folder feature here where you can expand or shrink the folder. So if I wanted to shrink this, I just press and hold on the folder. I hit shrink. Now it's a little itty bitty folder, and I can't click on any of the apps, right? Now I have to actually open the folder to click an app. But if I press and hold and I choose to expand it or enlarge it, now it takes that space back up, but now I can also individually click on the app without having to open the folder. And in this case, I open up Good Lock. That has many changes, which could be a whole separate video as well. But that's what you have with the home screen from this perspective here, which is the ability to still operate and function with a lot of your apps without having to jump through hoops and additional touches. And if you had more, apps in this folder, then you'd have to expand it to reach it. But it will show you basically, what's that, 7 or 8? It'll show you 8 apps before having to truly expand the folder and access your other few apps that you have in there. So I find that to be very, very pleasing from Samsung, that they've added and improved the home screen in this way, because I think it was much needed to bring some of these Good Lock features and surprise us with new features that wasn't even in Good Lock to the official One UI 7 software for us to enjoy, for us to personalize our phones the way in which we want to. And if I swipe over, this is what this page looks like. And then this is my experimental page where I can show you guys. And this is a calendar widget that I might bring back to my home screen as well, but I'm running out of space if I did that. If I go ahead and, oh no, I already clicked on it. So this is how you would expand it. So you see that? And then you can go in, pull it out, go up. You see how, I know my blur, my focus is focused on my thumb. But you see how all you gotta do is pull on a corner, and you can adjust to your liking your widgets. You can do that with every single widget now. And all those variants that I showed you within the widget packs, if you will, those are basically different sizes they can go from, or you can choose from. And with the weather widget, let me go ahead and dismiss that. And with the weather widget, if I press and hold on it and I hit settings, you have so much more customization with your widgets. So here, let's take, for example, background. The background's blue. I don't have to have it blue. I could just toggle it off, and now it's going to be, match my phone settings. Or actually, it won't even do that. It won't do none of that. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. I guess it's essentially transparent. So if I hit save, look at that, it's gone. Now that's interesting, and I'm glad that you get to keep the animated kind of weather icon within it. But if we come back into settings, I turn my background back on. Look what else you can do. You can change the actual look of the widget. Mine's a standard square, but maybe I want it to be a little bit squirkleish, or maybe I want it squirkleish in the other direction, or maybe I just want the top to have a little squarish look and the rest of it's round. Or I wanted to go and look the other direction. I can do that with this because Samsung's given us that ability to customize the widgets very, very, very much so to fine tune them to our liking. And then of course you have down here, you can match your phone settings if you like. And I'm now to hit save to bring that back. The other thing I like is the fact that you can change the transparency settings with widgets. So I'm gonna click on a different one because that one didn't have that ability. If we click on settings here, you have new transparency sliders as well. So of course I have it on the least or the most transparent on the far left, but if I didn't really want my background to be seen like that, I can increase it to where it's a fully solid or it's fully transparent. And it's going to be kind of hard to see up here what it's going to look like. Let's see. You can kind of see it a little bit, how it kind of lightens up. But what's so unique about this is the least transparent, and you get some of that background bleeding through, giving it that frosty look. But if I change the settings to no transparency basically, and I increase it all the way there, and I hit save, now you see it's fully black. It's blacked out. There's no frostiness to it. I love the frostiness. Give me my frostiness back, right? So I'm gonna click on transparency to the left side, hit save, and now my frostiness is back. So again, Samsung has given us that personalization that we really want from their devices with One UI 7, and you can experience that here on the home screen as well as the lock screen of your Samsung Galaxy device. The notification panel is another place in which Samsung has brought that good energy to. And if I swipe down, you see, outside of my mom sending me messages right now. So as I was saying, if I swipe down, you see it's blank. And probably not the greatest example right now. I'm using Good Lock to customize and giving me this all black look with my notification panel. Yours is going to be a little bit more transparent, a little more blurred. But as you see here, it just says notifications. There's nothing else here. The quick settings is gone. You're like, well, how do I access my quick settings? Well, there's two ways. So you can swipe from the left to access notifications. You can swipe from the right to access your quick grid or your quick settings, if you will. Or you can swipe down like I do, because I have that turned on in my home screen settings. So something that you guys may saw down here, you can swipe down for notification panel. So I can swipe down anywhere. It swipes down to my notification panel. And what you can do is, so my focus adjusts, just swipe over. That's all you gotta do is swipe over, and you can access your quick settings without having to fumble and swipe from the top all the time. And this is a way for you to just access your quick settings. And if you notice, it's set up completely different, and you can customize what you want this to look like. So if I wanted to come in here and hit edit, now I can change and rearrange all of my settings if I really wanted to. And what's nice is you can also, which I already did, but you can get rid of stuff as well. I wonder if it'll still let me do that. So let's say if I click on this. Nope, I don't see it. So I'm gonna leave that there. I think if anything, I'm gonna bring this down so that way it's always readily available. I'm gonna put you up there and see how you can rearrange, and then all you gotta do is come up here and hit done. And now it's rearranged. So that's what I like about this. And then if I want to access more of my quick grid there, my quick buttons, just swipe down and you have access to all of them there. And of course, if you wanted to edit those, I believe you can still edit those by clicking the edit button and then actually hit edit inside here. Then this is where you can add whatever other quick buttons you want to add to your quick grid tongue twister, so that way you have access to it at all times. That's what I like about this. They've been doing a good job with rearranging and giving us something new to look at and be pleased with when it comes to our devices. And it's great to see that everyone's going to be able to access this in some way, shape, or form, because One UI 7 in this format is coming to all their devices, or at least the most recent devices, which is creating a level of uniformity with Samsung, something I think we all want because we see how successful it is on another platform such as Apple. It was good to see that Samsung is establishing that in their own style and flair in their ecosystem. And that is a notification panel, and I probably did bundle this in with my home screen settings. And the last bit when it comes to the home screen, and you can really access this home screen, lock screen while you're in another app, is the Edge panel. Has some minor adjustments. They changed the icons for Galaxy AI, Sketch to Image, and Smart Select. And really, Smart Select is Galaxy AI, but they've also added the ability for you to have your translator or your interpreter right there as well, which I have, and I believe there's another app you can actually potentially have added to your Edge panel that I currently don't. But that section up there is somewhat, tweaked for One UI 7, and so experiment and play around with that if you like. If you select Smart Select real quick, since this is some of the Galaxy AI features, as you see, it's going to light up the screen. Now you get to select what you want. If I select that, it will automatically select the the Play Store icon as a whole. There, it'll try to copy the time for me, which is awesome. If I click on this, it's going to try to select the font or the wording within the widget. So maybe I was just trying to send somebody something like that. Or, you know what? Let me do that, and now it's going to try to create a bubble over what I was trying to access. I can adjust it. I can take a snapshot of that or copy it. You know, whatever I need to with Smart Select, it gives you that ability to really play around with it, and then gives you the settings down here. You can pin what you just selected there. You can sketch it or really adjust. You can even fine tune it some more if you wanted to, and I think it may have just taken a screenshot from that perspective. And then down there you can select the download option if you wanted to. If you wanted to download that image, I don't. So let me go ahead and hit discard. So Smart Select is a very, very handy tool that I think is very, very good. I just happen to not really use it like that because I'm really good at just using my palm to swipe if I want to take a screenshot like that. Boom, just like that. Now because I don't want to keep this, what I can do is hit there was a trash button down there. I couldn't get to it in time, and I'm deleting. I'm used to doing that. So for me, I'm trying to get used to Smart Select because I'm so used to just using my palm and swiping to snapshot what I need to. But Smart Select makes it even more smarter, if you will, to actually fine tune what exactly I want to actually copy, what I want from my screen. And so that is something I need to retrain myself on, is building a habit of using Smart Select. And that is just one of the Galaxy AI features that they brought to the Samsung Galaxy device. Here are some more that you may want to consider, and let's jump into Samsung Internet. Samsung Internet has plenty. Really, if you see it right there, the Galaxy AI button, you have the ability to summarize your page, translate your page, and read highlights aloud. Read highlights aloud is something that they actually added, I believe, specifically with One UI 7. But devices across Galaxy ecosystem will now have access to summarize and translate. And summarize is exactly what it says. If you click that, it's going to summarize what this page is showing. So if I hit summarize, it's going to summarize the articles that I have here. Amazing. And that gives you everything that is showing on the Google page for me, and it's summarizing for me to actually read about if I want to, and I can copy or translate it. And then of course I can actually come over here, select the different summary style, which is standard or detailed. So maybe I want a little bit more information to be summarized. I can change it to a detailed format. I don't need to. I like the standard. I can hit cancel if I need to. And then of course if I hit the info button, this text was generated using AI, so it gives you that disclaimer there, and then I can hit the X to back out. So that's what I like about Summarize. Sometimes you don't want to have to read a whole article, you just want specific information. Hit that Galaxy AI button and hit Summarize. And then of course you can translate the page as well if you wanted to. It's going to analyze the page, and then it's going to ask you essentially what language you want to change it into. You can say show original, you could change it to Spanish, right? That's pretty interesting. So now everything's changed to Spanish. You can change that if you want to. So for me, if I want to, let's see if I can change it to Japanese. Where is it? Let's see if I can access. No, they don't have that as an option. Oh yeah, they do. Right there. So now, oh, they put it in this katakana form, instead of actual words. But either way, that's cool. That's cool. And then you just hit exit when you're done, and you're back in your original language. So I definitely like that feature there with Galaxy AI and the Samsung Internet Explorer. If I select this again, it's straightforward, but read highlights aloud, it's going to read the highlights aloud for you. So no need to even have to really click on that. The next Galaxy AI feature that I would like to show you guys is within the phone app. And if I select that, the dial pad, select settings, and then select settings. Here are some new settings that they have. Live translate, which is something that they brought with One UI 6 but fine-tuned with One UI 7. You can now record calls. And this feature is on by default, which is nice. And you get a little icon when you try to call something. So I'm going to see if I can make a phone call so I can show you guys. But then you can also transcribe your phone calls as well with Transcript Assist. And this allows you to summarize your transcripts, auto detect your language, which is great, and then auto transcribe recorded calls. So let's say if you're recording a call, it will transcribe it for you, so that way you can read it back after the phone call. Very nice. And then you have your language packs down there. I find that to be very, very useful, especially if you're someone who uses your phone on a regular and may need to document what you're talking about on the phone, or maybe you use your phone to call in to seminars or to listening events, and you want to play back that information. You can record that information for yourself and be able to transcribe it, so that way you can read it, take notes, use it as notes, and maybe even send it over to the Samsung Notes app in order to do further studying or further manipulation of that information. So I really like the fact that they've added that. And so if I just try to make a quick phone call here, there you go right there, recall assist with that button right there. So if I click that, see, call recording, and then you hit OK, and now it will try and record the phone call. Now it's recording, right? So that's pretty neat that you can actually record the phone call, and it lets you know that it's doing so up there. Very, very unique from that perspective. And then I hit exit. And now I just got a notification letting me know that my call ended. Swipe that away. My call was recorded. Swipe YouTube away as well. Recording saved and transcript generated. So if I come in here, I can actually delete it or go to recorded calls. I want to go to recorded calls. Once I come over here, it takes me to the recorder app, or well, really your files app, and then it's going to take you through internal storage, recordings, and the phone call, and then give you that option to play it back. Right now, it's in the size of 142 kilobytes. It's the M4A file. Maybe you can upscale it, but let's say I wanted to do that. What's the options I have here? Nah, I didn't think so. You can compress it, of course. But in this case, I want to delete it because I don't need it. But I just want to show you guys how easy that is and where you will access your phone call from within your phone. It's going to be in the Files app, in internal storage, recordings, and then call. And so for me, we can hit delete, goodbye. But very nice indeed to have that there for Galaxy AI and One UI 7. And you have the same basically opportunities as you would in Samsung Notes. And as you see, I have my notes for One UI 7 there. But with Samsung Galaxy AI and Samsung Notes, you're able to transcribe calls within Notes now. You're able to then, well, I guess, yeah, record and transcribe within Notes, I should say. So Recorder is built into Samsung Notes now. So clicking on a note, you can come up here. I think you can have the option with Galaxy AI. This might be otherwise, yep, Note smarter and harder. So as you see here, auto format, summarize, spell check, translate text, transcribe and summarize recordings, decorate notes with AI generated covers and images, all with Note Assist. And then you just hit OK. And so now I have the ability to do everything that I just said except for transcribe, because right now I don't have anything recorded. Now I have to find that option because I know you can, and I think it's with the plus button right here. So I hit plus, you can do a voice recording. If you hit voice recording, it's gonna start recording this phone call. Okay, focus, thank you. And as you see, I'm talking right now, and it's recording the phone call. And then once, or the phone call, it's recording this note. And then once I hit stop, now I have the ability to come up here and hit the settings button over here. My focus is getting on my nerves too. Sorry about that. If I click on that, now you have the ability to transcribe your recordings into text notes with that button right there. So once I hit it, it's going to transcribe the phone call. So it couldn't detect, I guess, because it's probably short. If I hit transcribe, oh no, okay. And you see, you get the fun, cool animation, and then boom. See, it's going to be able to, it's going to start recording this phone call, so I can't focus. Thank you. And as you see, I'm talking right now, and it's recording the phone call. And then once our phone call is recorded, this note, and then once I hit, and then, and you see how many times I kept calling it a phone call, even though it's not, it's just a simple voice recording. And if I want to, I can hit the settings button. I think I can hit that right there. Yep. And I can edit the transcript. I can remove it. I can transcribe it again if I didn't like the results, if I didn't find it to be accurate enough. I can go ahead and retranscribe. I can hide the speaker labels, which again is great because it will differentiate between different voices to let you know how many people are actually speaking. So it almost feels a little bit interrogative, a little investigative. If you wanted to become a detective, use your Samsung notices, if you know what I'm saying. But you have that ability to delete, remove, edit, and tweak the transcribed note as you please, all within Samsung Notes. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can just leave it alone. You might even be able to rename it. I think you could over here. So if I click on the settings button again, no, I don't see it there. I think it's probably, nope. I'm gonna find it. Don't worry. Oh, this is the translate button. So if I wanted to translate it, I could translate it. Maybe you want to translate the note for somebody else in a different language. You can summarize what you just spoke, and it's gonna put in a phone call being recorded. The recording process is started. A note will be created once the call concludes. So essentially, that's what I did, but it's also really summarizing what transcription does for Samsung Notes. And so I can come up here, I can select that to hide the actual note, the recording now. I have this here, but maybe I don't need that there. So I should be able to swipe that down at the bottom just in case I want space back on my device like so. And for me, since we don't need to keep any of this, I can hit the settings, hit the delete button, move the trash, and it is now gone. That is Samsung Note Assist, which I also think is pretty cool. I just don't do a lot of recording personally, but if you did, Note Assist has you completely covered. There's also Chat Assist. Chat Assist allows you to be able to edit and format your texting or your emails. And you can find that within settings. We scroll way down here to Galaxy AI. This is where you're going to find the host of the rest of it, Writing Assist. So it is Writing Assist. So they changed the name from Chat Assist to Writing Assist. And as I've mentioned here, as you see, you can get grammar and spelling suggestions, change the writing style, create summaries, organize the text into bullet points or a table, compose new text based on a snippet or suggestion, translate messages in select chat apps, get suggested replies to text messages. Something that they brought with One UI 6, but again, for more devices going forward, One UI 7 has this built in because Galaxy AI is the way to go for Samsung now. And so that allows you to do whatever you want essentially within a text message. And so let me just find an old message of mine, and shout out to RCS as well. If I click on this here and I wanted to do some of that, I click that Galaxy AI button over here in the corner, and now here Write Assist pops up. You have chat translation, you have spelling and grammar, writing style, and composer. So composer is where you can give it some stuff that you wanted to say, and it will, and then you can change the style. You got standard, email, social media, comment, and then you have polite, professional, casual. Let's go casual. And then I'm gonna say, let's see, good seeing you today, or good seeing you. Had a lot of fun last night, and and then I hit generate, and as you see, it's gonna generate what I just said into something a little bit more lengthier. And this is what it said: good seeing you too. Last night was a blast. I'm done. We should do it again soon. I haven't laughed that hard in ages. We'll have to make it a regular thing. Until next time. It's kind of crazy. I probably would say something like that too. But you see how easy that was? And then if you want, you can hit refresh, and then it'll give you a different approach. Good seeing you too. Basically gave me the same thing. So it didn't quite change it this time because I didn't give it a lot to really have to work off of. But you can copy, you can insert it. So now that's what I'm going to actually say, and then it would send it as a message. I'm not sending that to myself. That's just an example. And that is writing assist in its simple form, because you can get real sophisticated with it again, like with emails, professional. You're trying to maybe negotiate. You can tweak all that within that composer format to really try to get the best message you want out to whoever you're sending it to. I just gave you a very simple example of that with regular text messages. So hope you guys may try that, because I think it could be fun as well. Just sending random, like, you know, AI based messages, see if people like, is this who like, see if people know you and know your texting style, and to see if you switched up with Galaxy AI, what they notice. Like, that would actually kind of be a fun little small prank. But that is writing assist. What you can also do is actually create your own stickers now, and that's with your Galaxy avatars. And so what I'm going to do is kind of show you guys where you can find that. So we're going to come into settings, and then we're already down at the bottom. We're going to do advanced features. Then we're going to scroll down here to Galaxy Avatar. If you click on Galaxy Avatar, I've already created mine here, and you can use it for your profile card as well. Something that they introduced with One UI 6 is profile cards, where you have an image for yourself that basically spans all your Galaxy devices. You can use your Galaxy Avatar as your profile card, or use the other Galaxy AI, features where you can tweak and change an image to be comic book form, or this, that, and the third, watercolor. The point is, we're talking about Galaxy Avatar right now. You would make one of these here, and then you have the ability to kind of create stickers on the fly. So these are already pre-made stickers right here. I created those two here, but you can actually create right from here as well. If I wanted to click plus, you have the option to create stickers. And as you see here, pinch in and out to zoom, place 2 fingers on the screen, and rotate them to turn your avatar around. Okay. Yeah, so 2 fingers, just like that. You can turn them around, which is cool. And then you can change your backgrounds, right? I believe you can change the expressions as well. And you can change your emoticons, if you will, of the image by here, and change your expressions. So it could change the expression on his face, and you could change the action, so you can change what he's doing, just like that. And it's the A-OK right there, right? That's pretty cool. So if I wanted to keep that, I just hit save, and now that's a sticker, and it's an animated. Oh, it's a GIF, or a GIF, if you will, however which way you want to pronounce that. I actually created a GIF right there on the fly in this avatar sticker page. But let's say I wanted to do something else with this. Well, I would actually come back over here into settings. I would select my settings, of course. Then I would select, let's see, I've done this before, so bear with me. I believe I select this, and then I scroll on over here to stickers. So I gotta find my stickers. I select me, and now I have my sticker right there on one of them. But then I can also hit add, and this is where you can add an avatar. So upon further review, I can't find it in settings. It looks like you create your avatars and stickers in the Galaxy Avatar section, as opposed to on the fly messages. That was one of the most recent changes they did between beta 3 and a stable official release. So interesting to have caught that there, which is why I had the option to choose it there. So maybe that will come back with like One UI 7.1.1 or something like that. We'll see. But as of now, it's within here, and you can also create profile cards or pics and cards, something we've kind of already had before. But like, you can have an image of yourself dancing to some music, or what have you, what have you, to send to other people, or when they call. And this is exactly what it looks like. You can change a profile picture. You can change an image, or do an image. You can do a video. For me, I've done a video for mine, and you know that's that there. I'm surprised you can't see it here, but maybe you can if I was to go to my actual contact or profile card on here. And then you can create avatar video. You can watch face if you wanted to. So they've gotten really creative with you wanting to kind of add yourself to your phone in the way that you want to express yourself. And I'm glad that they've brought these features to Samsung Galaxy, because it makes you want to kind of have fun with your phone a little bit more. And it's not just about phone calls and text messages, but you can actually have fun expressing yourself with your Samsung Galaxy device. And for reference, here's my profile card. It's me dancing. So if you call me, you're going to see me. I'm going to be breaking it down. That's what I do. That's what we do over here, okay? So that's what you can do is change it to look like that. And I'm glad I was able to find that and show you guys that right there. We actually jump back into settings here. We come back down here to advanced features and we scroll down here to Focus likes to add play around. Game Booster. Game Booster now allows, especially if your phone has the ability to run 120 hertz to get super smooth playback with certain games. I believe Marvel Contest of Champions, a game I often reference because the game I used to play back in the day, had 120 hertz. And now that the phone is also capable of being able to push that, as long as the game also is able to push that, you're able to get that smooth high frame rate to have real good fluid gameplay. So it's also great. And then you have a new Game Booster settings page in general that's been tweaked. So you can, with game optimization, you can prefer performance, balance, or battery saver. And let's be real. Who's playing the game trying to save battery? You know your battery is going to get drained playing the game. Get the most out of it with performance or balance approach. Just my opinion. And then you have where to access the in-game panel, which is, you can do a shortcut bar. You can do notifications. You got your recording tools if you record gameplay. And there, it's going to take you to a different message here. And then it's essentially the tools you have and the order in which you see them. Touch protection, screenshot, record, block edge panel, block auto brightness, block Bixby. And then you have edit your pop-up apps. So stuff that pops up, you can edit that as well. Auto touch protection is after 3 minutes. So if you put your phone down, your device down from playing, it will lock the screen basically after 3 minutes. You can save power during the touch protection. So that is a smart idea. Screenshot resolution is 100%, meaning you want the most clear and precise, good, high quality screenshots you can have. You got your screenshot format, which is JPEG, and most people, and I would suggest JPEG for most people. And then Game Booster is up to date there. One of the things you can also do, we might be able to search for it here, is if it might actually be in connections. But if we come in here to connections, if it's not connections, it's in, yeah, maybe it's in the other one. It should be here. Okay, now I got notifications rolling through. Connected devices. Quick share. Quick share now has the ability to also not just share, of course, with Galaxy and non-Galaxy devices. And quick share and nearby share became one. So Google's nearby share is now quick share, something that Samsung was able to overhaul for Android, it appears, as a whole. But you have the ability to also share over the internet. And I need to turn that on. So let's say you're with somebody, you want to do a quick share of an item with them and send it over to them. If you guys break apart, it will actually still send over the internet with their device or to their device. So I would definitely recommend turning it on. Of course, if you don't have no issues with data with your carrier and your plan, but that's a great feature to finally have added. Very similar to Apple's AirDrop and how they also added, internet abilities with theirs. Samsung has done that over here with QuickShare as well. So good to see that there. What else can we talk about? Power saving settings. So in battery, if you want to get the most out of here, of course, I have it turned off, but you have the ability to, my phone with power saving on right now would last over 20 hours and 7 minutes with 77%, which is pretty interesting. And these are what you can do. Limit CPU to 70%. Everything's pretty much kind of still the same here, but you also have limit apps and home screen. So you can do a lot of limiting with power save to eke out as much power as possible with your phone. And then with battery protection, of course, I don't have it turned on, which I thought I did. They must have turned it off. Keeping your phone 100% charged for a long time can reduce its lifespan. Choose an option below to protect your battery and make it last longer. For me, I think I had it on adaptive. Stop charging at 80% while you're asleep and switch to basic before you wake up. Sleep time and estimated is based on your phone usage patterns. So for me, I like adaptive because it's going to be based off my sleep time, so my battery doesn't have to get unnecessarily hit with unnecessary charging. And this is a way for you to preserve your battery life. I like adaptive. I don't need to do maximum. I don't need to just cap it at 80%. No need. I like adaptive because it still utilizes that 80% factor and then essentially kind of gives you a nice little charge right before waking up. So that way it's not just sitting on a charge. And so I like that there. And good news is in the future, Samsung's going to be updating their battery in general in terms of like the materials that they're using for the battery. So we're going to see a significant increase and improvement with battery life with devices coming out, I believe, later 2025 and into 2026. And so that's pretty much that there. You got your charge settings here, where you can toggle on and off your fast charging, your fast wireless charging, and whether or not you want to show your charging information, which is also good. And I forgot to bring it in here, but let me go ahead and grab that for you guys real quick. I had to go get a charger so I can show you guys, because I'm going to show you guys with the screen off, and I'm going to show you guys with the screen on. So let's go screen off first. If I plug this in, you're going to see, and I think there's a new sound too, but I have it turned off. Oh, I don't. It's on. You may have heard it, but we get a new charging animation for our devices now. And let's say my screen is on, right? Now watch the battery indicator up here in the top. Once I plug it in, watch the battery indicator. Okay, watch it. Once I plug it in, boom. You see how it glows and lights up right there at the top? You see that? Samsung has added some more playful funness to our phones when it comes to charging them as well, which is very, very nice and something that we definitely needed for our Samsung Galaxy devices. And I'm glad that they brought it here with Samsung One UI 7. Now, unfortunately, with the flip device and throughout this whole video, you guys have not really seen me open it. And I did say I was going to show you guys just a brief look at what my setup looks like here and how I'm utilizing that bigger kind of weather widget right there. Samsung has also added Starlink satellite messaging, which I think is in the works of being able to be usable, and Samsung is definitely supporting it, or T-Mobile is definitely supporting that functionality here. Of course, I haven't had the need to use it, but I think we might be able to look it up. So if we actually scroll up here and I select that, and I try to type in satellite, yeah, so we got satellite networks. If I select that, down here, okay, it's just going to give me so it's not included with my accounts right now, but you see the ability for satellite networking. And if I select on it a little bit more, it says I'm not subscribed, and I don't even know how I would subscribe. So here we go. So it basically kind of tells you right here. Satellite messaging may take longer and is available only in some areas. Weather in certain structures may affect your satellite connection. Calling via satellite isn't available. Emergency calls may still connect if a mobile network is available near you. It may take some time for account changes to show in settings. Contact T-Mobile for details. So just as I said, they support it. It sounds like it's going to take some time for accounts to show changes in the settings. So I think it's rolling out, but you'll see you can find it within connections, and you'll see satellite networks down here at the bottom, right there. So if you wanted to kind of locate it yourself to see if your phone or your carrier has subscribed you to it, it's right there within the connections, right here, there at the right there, word salad, and that is satellite messaging. If we swipe back out and I select into the calendar, calendar has the ability to have reminders in here now as well. So you have reminders and events down here. And the beautiful thing about that is you can delete repeated reminders and add repeated reminders. You no longer have to go into an exclusive reminder app. It's all built into the calendar. So whether or not you need a reminder or an event, you can actually strategically set either one. Now for me, I just do events. Reminders I need to do because they are different than a whole event. Sometimes I just need to be reminded to do something, like I need to remind myself to call some people today. That's a reminder. So all I need to do is set that up as a reminder, and I should be good to go there. And so again, it's nice seeing apps bundled together in that way. But again, not to mention their name again, Apple did the same thing with calendar and reminders on their end. They combined both of theirs into one place, which was smart. So seeing Samsung take cues from that perspective, I think, was also a smart idea, because it helps us find everything in one place a lot easier and a lot faster than having to bounce around to all these different places. And so shout out to Samsung for actually doing that and incorporating that for Samsung One UI 7. And last but not least, the gallery. I'm not really going to get into the camera right now. It is what it is. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video or in a follow-up video about One UI 7 since running the stable release now, because it's been, a few days since Thursday. It's Sunday now as a recording of this video that's going out on Monday. I may do some camera touch-ups because they did optimize the cameras and try to improve them via the software. So maybe I'll do a little bit something like that. But I have a fold device and I don't use my camera that often. So as apropos as it is on this channel, because I am more of a photographer and I use an actual camera, I don't depend on my phone camera all that often, but I have been trying to use it more often, especially when it comes to video. So I will try to add some form of camera based content, especially after One UI 7, soon. It's just it takes me some time to get into that mode because I don't typically use my phone for it. But I still need to bring that information to you guys. So be patient with me with that. But as of this video, we're not really focused on the camera all that much. A lot of these features is with the other apps, including the gallery. And if we come in here to the gallery, I thought I had the gallery there. It's in my edge panel. The gallery has some abilities and some features down here. If we click in here, you have the ability to go to studio now, where you can do way more specific editing of your videos you take. You can actually tweak your videos a little bit more uh, from a, I don't want to say complex, but a little bit, you have additional options. Like you can get a little bit more detail with your edits with studio. And so right here, as you see here, you can start your project right here within studio. If you hit start, it's going to ask you to pick a video. Let's just say I pick a video I recorded yesterday. That's the one I choose. I hit done, and now it's going to open up in here. And as you see down here, you can add font. Looks like stickers. You can write over it. You can add music. You can add something else right there, which says automatically trim all your clips down to their highlights. So that's also interesting. And then you also have the ability to hit OK. And so if I want to, I could just hit this button. It's going to edit it for me. And now you're going to see it edit the video I took for Instagram. And so now in 10 seconds, if I hit play, now you get to see what I actually edited. And this was me having some fun yesterday. And my goodness, look at the guns, yo. Bro, the gym is paying off. That's crazy right there. I look different. So, and then if I want, I could just apply it right there. And then I just hit apply. Now it's edited down. I didn't even have to go tweak it myself. And then I can hit done up there. You can see the options right here. You can change, looks like the scaling of the actual size of the video. Right now this is vertical formatting. You can add music over it if you wanted to. I'm just gonna hit done for now. And now it's essentially about to be saved. I'm just gonna leave it as my movie 1. And this is what I have in my studio right here. And then I can save my movie if I wanted to. I can go back in and edit it. I can delete it. I can hit this button up here. I can rename it. I can size and format it. I want full HD, of course. And instead of HVAC, I want H.264. So that way it's compatible anywhere or almost anywhere I decide to post it. Then I can export my project. So if I want to, I can export it. It's exported. And I thought it was going to give me an option of where, but it didn't. And then I can share my project if I wanted to with other people. I could share my movie essentially, and so if I wanted to share that, yeah. So boom, now I just save it. Now I can choose a location where I want to actually share it. Now I don't understand the difference between that and the project. Share project, I guess it's gonna just take this whole file and then you can send it somewhere else. So maybe like if you had a tablet, you could quick share it to your tablet and actually do some more editing on the bigger screen real estate with your tablet. That's something I could see sharing a project for when it comes to the studio. So that's very interesting there. And in this case, I can actually delete it because I don't need it. But that is a studio that you can access right within Gallery. And then, of course, you can clean out. So if there's things you don't quite need in here, from that perspective, you can go ahead and clean out duplicates. And that, yep, hey, I got 4. Go ahead and delete them. Delete trash. It's going to delete the duplicates that I had there. I'm done there. And then if I have old documents, it's really just one. Select. And then I hit delete. I don't need that no more. It's gone. Boom, just like that. So Gallery has become much more intuitive from that perspective. And then you also have the ability to actually go back and then select here and select settings. And then, of course, you can always sync with your OneDrive, which is whack. It'll bring Google Drive as another option from that perspective. You can do full screen scrolling, open and video play. You can turn that on, which makes it a lot easier to just play videos, I would imagine. So maybe I'll turn that on for myself. And then you have photo assist, which is in here. And if I click on that, it's on. But this will reimagine your photos. I'm making of moving elements around or drawing in new ones, transform portraits into stunning cartoons, paintings, and more. I've demonstrated this with One UI 6.1, I believe, or I think it was One UI 6.1, where you can change. That was my original profile card, was me just in like an animated form. So we still have that here, and it has been, of course, improved with One UI 7. Your generative edits, which I've showed you again before as well, One UI 6, and sketch to image. I just showed you Portrait Studio. And then if I back out, one of the things they added is the audio eraser, which is very cool, which if I wanted to edit that video again, I can show you guys what with audio eraser, you can erase the audio or tweak the audio with audio eraser. And so backing out of there, there's no other new settings here. We can actually back out. If I come back in here, I select on this, and then I select the edit button. It's going to take me not to the studio, but just to a simple editing form. And then right over here in the corner, there's the audio button. And then you can do audio eraser. And now it's going to try to tweak the audio for you. And so now if I play it, or I can actually do noise and lower the noise all the way or most of the way. If I apply edit, now if I try to play it with the sound, to me it still sounds relatively the same, but it's because it's very simple and I'm in the bathroom, so the sounds are only going to be what they are. But if I want to, I could save copy, and now it's going to save that copy of the video, and there you go. Just like that, you can change the audio and keep it pushing. So if I swipe, I can get rid of this original one there. I was having fun the other day. But that is the gallery, and that is some of the AI features that they've added to the gallery. And overall, this is Samsung One UI 7 for Samsung Galaxy devices that is now live, that is still rolling out to many different devices. And I hope you guys not only get it, but you guys are able to enjoy it to its fullest extent. And this is a very long video that I was not expecting to be this long. So I hope you guys also appreciate it from that perspective. The next video that I'm gonna bring down the line is my setup video, how I have everything set up, and essentially why I have it set up in that way. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. If I wanted to mention anything one last time, they've changed the wrong one. They changed the Galaxy Store to some degree. They've updated it here. And if I was to come in here to my updates, you're going to notice here as well in this closed format. Oh, they changed that as well. So actually, if I actually press and hold and then I go to update apps, you see this is kind of new here. You didn't really see this before. Find more apps. This wasn't there before, and as you just saw, it wasn't when I was in the update app section. They've added this since One UI Beta 3, and it was like towards the end of Beta 3 too, so I think it was server side. But this has been added to the device, as well as there's something else. That's pretty much it. Oh, it's not, I don't think, all the way live yet, but if we come in here to software update, there's supposed to be some level of fragmenting when it comes to the device being able to still download and install the update, and then all you have to do is reboot your device for it to actually apply updates. If I click in here, I don't quite see that ability quite yet, but maybe with the next update it might be available. That's supposed to be here too, but it may not be with the Galaxy Folds, like anything before the S25 series. That might be a CPU restraint, but we will see going forward. But you're supposed to have some level of fragmentation when it comes to the ability to download and install software updates on one partition, and then when you reboot, the partitions combine or essentially copy and do all that fun jazz in the background, and then all you have to do is reboot your device. So hopefully we'll see if that is here with the next update pertaining to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. But that's something that was also supposed to be along with One UI 7. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys appreciate this video. If you guys like the new features with One UI 7, are you looking forward to more features with One UI 8 or One UI 7.x or .x.x? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell, it's all free. That way you know it's our videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down there by the like and dislike button, Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's way to keep tech fresh and alive on this channel. Jermaine Micah signing out until the next video. Wait for it.